Hi there, with the new Kindle Basic that came out earlier this year, Amazon really closed the gap between the Basic and the Kindle Paperwhite. There are only a few key features that make the Paperwhite a more premium device. If you're debating between both these two Kindles, I hope this video will help you decide. I'm going to show you all the major differences between the Basic and the Paperwhite, but one disclaimer I have to say is both these devices are really amazing. What matters at the end of the day is having a device that helps us read more books, and any Kindle that you get will help you do that. Now, one more thing I want to say up front, if you're in any kind of budget whatsoever, if the Kindle Basic at the cost of $99 looks appealing to you because it's all you can afford right now, do not hesitate to get it. Save yourself the money. The Kindle Paperwhite costs $40 more at $139. If you're in any kind of budget, the Kindle Basic will work for you just fine. All the upgrades and refreshes that happened in the past year make this device on par with all the premium Kindles. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to compare the Kindle Basic to the entry-level Kindle Paperwhite. There is a Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition that has extra features like wireless charging, an ambient light sensor, more storage, but I'm not going to worry about that. If you want to learn more about the Signature Edition, I have a whole video that talks about that. Link for that on the screen right now. All right, let's get to it. The first major difference between the Kindle Paperwhite and the Kindle Basic is the screen size. You're getting a 6-inch screen on the Kindle Basic and a 6.8-inch screen on the Kindle Paperwhite. Now, this is really a personal preference of what your needs are, but let me give you a few use cases that you may want to consider. For me, when I travel a lot, I like having a smaller device. When I go on the train, I live in New York, I go to New York City a few times a week for my job, I travel on the subway, and having the Kindle Basic, the smaller form factor, is just so much nicer to hold and pull out of my backpack. I really enjoy reading on that when I travel. I also find myself flipping pages a lot quicker on the Kindle Basic. The illusion of reading a book faster is definitely there. It's all in your head, but that illusion definitely helps you feel motivated to read more books. Now, on the other side of the equation, we have the Kindle Paperwhite. This device definitely feels more like reading a real book. It has the bigger screen size, which I think is more natural than the Kindle Basic. I prefer reading on the bigger screen when I'm sitting at home on the sofa, drinking some coffee, or maybe in bed before going to sleep. Having that larger screen size feels so much more natural and pleasant to read on. Those are just a couple use cases to consider. Both these devices are really great for reading. There is one notable feature though that's missing on the Kindle Basic in terms of the screen. We'll come back to that in a minute. The next difference between the Paperwhite and the Kindle Basic is the build quality and color options you have to choose from. The Kindle Paperwhite on the back of the device definitely has a more premium feel to it. It does not feel very plasticky. I would say it's more of a rubbery material. It has a better grip to it. Now, when you compare that to the Kindle Basic, this is all plastic. It does not have any kind of premium feel to it like the Kindle Paperwhite does. I wouldn't say this is a very cheap plastic. It definitely does feel cheaper than the Kindle Paperwhite, but I don't think it feels super cheap like other devices I've held before. The Basic does have two color options though, whereas the Kindle Paperwhite only comes in black. On the Basic, you can choose between black as well as a denim blue. The blue option, in my opinion, it looks really nice at first, but when you come to actually use it, it's a bit too strong of a blue. I talked more about this in my Kindle Basic review, but in summary, I think the blue is a bit harsh on your eyes while you're reading. When you're reading on a device, you really want the bezels to blend in and fade away. You don't want them to stand out. And having a black bezel definitely helps with that. The blue color they chose is definitely in your face, and I think it can get a little distracting while you're reading. The next difference between the Kindle Basic and the Kindle Paperwhite is waterproofing. This can be a deciding factor for you if you read in the bathtub, in the pool, by the beach. If waterproofing is important to you, if you spill things a lot, then do not get the Kindle Basic. This device is not waterproof. The Kindle Paperwhite is fully waterproof and water resistant, so that's a big difference if that's important to you. Moving right along, the next thing I want to talk about is the flush, very flat screen on the Kindle Paperwhite compared to the indented screen on the Kindle Basic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Kindle Paperwhite has a flat layer of plastic or glass, whatever material it is. The screen is completely flush with the device. There's no indents or crevices. It all works really nicely. On the Kindle Basic, you don't have that same premium quality. The screen is slightly sunken in to the device. You have some crevices, and there's a big difference there. In terms of the premium feel, the Kindle Paperwhite definitely wins that round. Having that flush display feels very, very nice to hold. Also, having a flush screen means less dust and debris will get stuck in your screen, whereas the Kindle Basic, there is more room for dust to get stuck. However, one thing that I find to be really important is the Kindle Basic, I think, has a bit of a crispier screen to read on. What I mean by that is text is a bit sharper because there's less layers of glass or plastic between your eyes and the screen. That's definitely a bit of a trade-off that you're having to pay. You are getting a less premium device, a less protected device, but you're getting a sharper screen. When it comes to reading books, that sharpness can make a big difference. I really enjoy reading on my Kindle Basic because it's definitely a bit sharper than my Kindle Paperwhite, but holding the Paperwhite feels a lot nicer. There's a bit of a give and take there. The next difference I want to talk about between these two Kindles is the adjustable warm light. The Kindle Basic, unfortunately, is missing that. I think that is the biggest feature that's missing on the Kindle Basic. When reading at night, having adjustable warm light makes a huge difference. What I'm talking about is that orange tint that you can put on the screen. It makes reading a lot more natural. It makes it feel a lot less harsh on your eyes, especially if you're reading in a dark environment. The Kindle Basic does not have that. It only has that white, bluish colored light. There is dark mode available though on both devices, which definitely helps, but I don't think that's a full substitute for adjustable warm light. When you're reading at night, I really think that's an important feature to have. With the Kindle Basic, if you're reading in regular daylight or in a well-lit room, it will look beautiful, but the second you turn lights off or get in a dark environment, that's really when you want to consider having the Kindle Paperwhite. Having that adjustable warm light at night feels a lot nicer. There's also more LEDs available on the Kindle Paperwhite, so more room for adjustments. If you read at night, this could also be a deciding factor for you. If you read a lot in the dark, having the Kindle Paperwhite might be worth it. I also want to say that having the adjustable warm light combined with the larger screen on the Kindle Paperwhite definitely makes it feel more natural, like a real physical book, especially if you read before going to sleep. That's actually how I began reading every single day, was reading right before going to sleep. If that's something that you do very often, I really think it's worth considering the Kindle Paperwhite just for that reason. The last difference that I have between the Kindle Basic and the Kindle Paperwhite is a very subtle difference, and one that I was very surprised to see, and that is the lack of animations that are available in the Kindle Basic software. When the Kindle Paperwhite first came out, they released a software update that gave a feature to the Kindle Paperwhite, but no other Kindle. What I'm talking about are page turn animations. When you turn the page on the Kindle Paperwhite, you get this nice little swipe effect across the page. Now, at first, I thought this was because the Kindle Paperwhite had a newer screen, but with the new Kindle Basic that came out that also has a nicer, newer screen, this feature is notably not there. This makes me think that Amazon is intentionally keeping this feature reserved for the more premium Kindles. I wouldn't call this a requirement at all. It's definitely more of a quality of life improvement and a nice to have upgrade. I like to see which direction I'm turning the page, and having those animations really helps me see that very visually. Whereas in the Kindle Basic, if you go left or right, you can't really tell. You have to really read the text to see where you are. Over time, we'll have to see if Amazon will add more animations. This may become more of a bigger deal if they decide to use that technology for other features that we don't know about yet. But for right now, it's just a very small difference, not a deal breaker at all. Now, those were all the differences between the Basic and the Paperwhite, but there are actually a lot of similarities that are worth mentioning that I think really make these devices on par with each other. The first one is USB-C. This is a new addition that we're getting across all the Kindles now. USB-C makes charging your Kindle way easier. You can use the same charger you have for your iPad, your computer, all with the Kindle now. The next similarity is speed. The Kindle Basic had a very poor reputation before for being a slow device. With the new refresh this year, they really fixed that. This thing is just as fast as my Kindle Paperwhite. I think this is a really underutilized feature. If you go around the settings or highlight or take notes, this is something you definitely want to pay attention to. The next similarity is both the Paperwhite and the Basic have the same screen resolution. This is one of the most important features for a device that is meant for reading books. They both have 300 ppi resolution. This is actually a new thing for the Kindle Basic. It used to have a much lower quality screen, not anymore. These things are on par with each other. And the last similarity I have is they both run the same exact Kindle software. There is no difference in terms of how you actually read books, and that is what matters when it comes to having a Kindle. Now, if you're in the market to buy a new Kindle and you want to get a great deal on the Kindle and get some free accessories built into the price, there's actually a great way of doing that by buying the kids edition. I know it sounds a bit strange, but I have a whole video that talks about that. Link for that on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.